All right, welcome everyone. This is the Cultivate Costa Rica selfie stick tour. This is the pre-transformation. I'm going to make a little more video content about what we're doing here, why we're doing it, how we're doing it. But this is just looking around the premises. So look at the property we have right now. We were Cabinas de Lu. That was named after the family that was here before me's daughter. So let's go for a little walk. This is our main entrance here. This is actually our parking lot. And in our parking lot, we actually have some wonderful little trees around here. I can show you a couple different things that are really interesting. Of course, you see the bananas, you see the birds of paradise hanging around. This tree right over here you see right up here what I'm touching. This big green blob. We also have all these things, these brown guys on the floor. This is Hikaro. Hikaro is a natural bowl, basically. People make a lot of things out of it. Here's a little guy right here. Hikaro is a natural material that people use to make plates, bowls, things like that. It's really easy to use. I can almost do it myself, and I'm really not that crafty at that sort of thing. We also have over here, where is it? Right here. We have a little noni plant. And a noni is both a medicinal plant here locally. You can see just the tiniest little fruit. And it's not only a medicinal locally and a fruit that you can eat and it's tasty, it's also an analog to baijisian in traditional Chinese medicine. So it's not exactly the same species, but we're gonna test it out and see if it functions the same way. It's the closest thing that is common down here in the tropics. Baijisian is a Chinese medicinal that strengthens the bones, strengthens kidney yang. So it's a really wonderful one to have hanging around on the property. Maybe someday we'll dig up some roots. This is the main entrance. So this is how we come to the property, especially as a guest, for some specific movement seminars and things like that. Maybe we go a different way. So let's take a walk inside. So I'm not going to show you all the cabins because we have some people in there, but we can walk over here and just kind of see what's going on from the outside today. A little oasis. And so this right here is a rough rough look at what we have, generally speaking here. These are little A-frames, they're cabinas with one room inside, outdoor shower in the back, really beautiful design. This is a native indigenous palm technique. The real thing, not what you see at a lot of tourist places that costs more and lasts for 60 years and is made out of plastic. These are real palm fronds, and they do take several dried trees to make. It's a really cool labor-intensive process that I get the chance to watch right now. So in the middle of these three little cabins, we have our nice pool area. Let's take a little walk over here. Surrounded by bananas. We have natural fruit all over the property. We have a mango, we have a couple of papayas, and a lot of piñas actually that are producing well. I'll show you a version that's ready and a version that's on the way here. This is the pool. You can see we have two other cabins. That's our kitchen off to the right. And then the other cabin's kind of hidden there. You can just see the roof. So let's walk over to the kitchen, the shared meal space. I never see them in the morning, but over here, a bunch of iguanas like to hang out. I don't know if they're a family, but there's one that's giant and very friendly, very cute. So in here, we have our kitchen space. And let's pop inside. Right now, it's still decorated for Christmas. We have a stove top on the end there. We have kind of a triangular table set up. And so this is a really nice place to have a communal meal. Right now it accommodates about the amount of housing that I have on the property, which is about room for 6 people. I'm going to extend, and I'm going to show you a project in a moment that we're going to end up having about 10 to 12 people. But for right now, this is what we got. You can see some cute little ornaments over here made of hikaro. Let me give you that little art project. This is a natural material, but it's really fun to just kind of use and make little ornaments out of, or little fun stuff. And so let's go over. We got some hammocks, of course. Really sweet little spot. And so you can see from this side, again, it's a little oasis. Nobody can see the street. We're a kilometer off the main road. And because of that, it tends to be pretty quiet over here. There's not a lot going on, and there's a lot of nature, which is really sweet. We have all different types of woodpeckers, owls, a bunch of different things that I've seen in the past couple days. So eventually in this little corner, this will be a little plant wall. In this little corner of the property, let's see if I can extend out. In this little corner, we're gonna end up having a baño seco, like a compostable toilet in this little corner that'll kind of serve as a public toilet if we have events that you don't have enough rooms for people. This A-frame right here, we're gonna turn into a double cabin, kind of a dormitory style cabin. And so what's gonna be cool about that is we're gonna have an more affordable option, of course. And it's also gonna be sweet to have room to just house more people and bring the number of people we can host for an event on site to be up to 10 to 12. There's an Airbnb project on the street. There's other places to stay, especially if you don't want to live in a forest. But that's where we're going with this, is to have a few more spots on site here. And so we're trying to break that out. You can see all the building materials. This is the first project that's broken ground. These are all the posts, but they've all been doing this by hand, just a crew with a knife, looking at some of these posts, and it's a pretty labor-intensive process. It's kind of actually awesome to watch. And I'm kind of break out all these posts. And then we have the palm fronds. We have plenty over here. We are stocked with palm fronds. We have another pile somewhere else on the property. And yeah, you could swim in these, man. If I was a little kid, I'd be jumping in them. Thankfully, I'm a little older now. And so we have a lot of raw materials. A lot of this wood that we've used for the houses is actually made from some of the really solid and durable wood that's on the property. So this has been created by a family that did everything style, like eco-lodge style. And so we have really sustainable materials. We're trying to make sure that all the water goes back to the land here. So let's walk over here. This little corner, I'm gonna keep this mostly forest over here. I'm trying to figure out exactly what this tree is. This is either a pejibaye or a coyol, two local foods that you can. The coyol, you make usually a drink, a fermented or non-fermented drink, and the pejibaye are kind of like these giant seeds that are obviously technically fruit, but they're a really traditional snack here. And you're not really going to find them in other parts of the world, but here they're very popular and very tasty. And if you look at the nutritional profile, it's actually wild on a pejibaye, because the B vitamins in there, it's a superfood. I don't know if it would grow in other places. It's just about what's trendy to be a real superfood. But for a nutritional profile, it's a superfood. These little guys, I poke you in here, these little yellow guys, this is a variety of pineapple. I'm not gonna take one right now because I have my hands full carrying around the stick, but these are super bromelain-y, and so you kind of get that extra sting, and they're a little bit more fibrous than commercially cultivated pineapple. And so because of that, you're not gonna see them in stores, they're not gonna be imported. But what's cool about them is that we hardly ever give this guy water. He's super self-sufficient, this plant. She's gonna produce all year round, and super suited for this climate, which is bosque seco, which is a dry forest. And so that's a really cool, really cool variety that's very abundant here. And let's keep going. So in this little area of the property over here, as you can probably see, we have a little break from the trees, and we have this big, it's not actually a stump, it's just a piece of dried wood. So this little area, we're gonna put in an alternate movement space. I'll show you where the main one is in a second. This is gonna be an alternate movement space. And so this is, probably about maybe 15 meters long, right? This little strip here. And we're gonna be able to have an alternate movement space. We're gonna be able to have kind of a little tea house, somewhat open air tea house. We're gonna put in some kind of traditional Chinese medicine drawers to store traditional Chinese medicines that we've already harvested, that we've already picked up, potentially for use with patients, potentially for sale for folks who want to have that in the house just in case. Stuff that's going to be from the property and can be stored in this little house, as well as, again, keeping that to one part of this tea house idea. And then the other side is more for movement and having a removable table, so that it's another spot when the rains come that you feel like you can just be around the property and get out of rain or wind or sun if it's sunny or something like that. Just another roof area here. And again, we have a lovely canopy here. So unlike some places that are more built and developed, we have shade. We have fresh air. I'm walking around here. I'm walking around in sweatpants. And we're in the tropics, so it actually stays quite a bit cooler here than it is if you were to Google Tamarindo, Costa Rica, what the temperature is here. So let's give you a little idea as well. Let's run you around over here. And so as we come over here, this cabin is going to be extended a little bit over there to make room for 2 rooms inside, 2 large rooms. And then where the cabin ends here, and basically and over from that, that's all going to be our big wide open movement deck. And so the idea is to create, I don't know the word in English, but it's a pergola, like kind of like a arch, overhanging arch of plants to create a shade structure while still keeping it open air. And this movement space is going to be from where I'm standing right here at this time. And it's gonna go all the way just about to the fence you can see behind the cabin. And so that's gonna end up being about 30 meters or 90 feet, 100 feet probably, and 12 meters width. And that would be about, 36 to 40 feet. Get the exact measurement, because we're all using metric here. Remember, we're in somewhere that isn't the US. And so all of this, we're going to maintain these trees in the ground. They provide wonderful shade for us. There's a woodpecker I saw in here this morning. There's a bunch of birds I saw in here this morning that make me say, thankfully we can do this. And so we're going to put some stone slabs on the ground, making little cubby holes for these sort of trees to still survive. And that's going to give us a big, wide open movement space with a little bit of shade. And this whole area, basically, I'm going to transplant a couple of the green things. This whole area is going to be big, open movement space with some shade. Again, artificially with creating a structure so that vines and plants, medicinal plants, can climb up and over for part of it. And then part of it, as you can see, we just have shade. And the shade is beautiful. So we have no reason to try to do better than what nature does best. So over here, you can see we have some oregano. Oregano is pretty abundant on this property, so there's going to be some transplanting of it because we just have a lot of it. You can see this little guy. If you're not from this area, if you're not from the tropics or don't know, this is a banana plant. They'll get a lot bigger. I'll show you some bigger ones later. This is where all your bananas come from. And so we have a lot of bananas, maybe too many bananas on the property. So hopefully get more traffic with some events in the near future so I can share the bananas because it's hard to find enough friends to give them away to when they're really blooming, going ham. So what else do we have here? This is all, as you can see, little forest, little medicinal plant forest. We're gonna get a lot of this over time, moving towards the traditional Chinese medicine herbs, letting them kind of be not invasive but abundant in this area, letting them run it a little bit. We have some kind of natural sinks here to maintain areas that are super abundantly green. A lot of oregano. We have some inch plants over there. A lot of different herbs. Some cactus right here. We have plumerias, which are a plant that grows very lovely over here. And you can see we got these little sweet flowers. I'm just taking you on a plant tour this time. This is my house. So this is the main house that I'm lucky enough to inherit because it's really beautiful outside and inside. These are some wonderful herbs right here that are going in the ground when the rains come. So we have over here jiaogulan, or southern ginseng. This is an incredible adaptogen that Chinese scientists kind of rediscovered or made popular because it only exists in certain parts of the south of China, but it's incredibly abundant. It's incredibly easy to grow, and it was dubbed southern ginseng because they were actually looking for a sweetener. They started measuring the properties of this plant, and they discovered more of the kind of adaptogenic tonic compounds that typically people attribute to ginseng's power. And so that's a really cool one. These are what we make moxa with. This is Chinese mugwort. Over here, we also have our longan fruit. Longan is going to be a Chinese herb as well. This is a Japanese variety of mugwort. I'm a little afraid that they're just going to crossbreed and make a hybrid, but it'd be cool if we maintained a little bit of both. Huajiao pepper. It's a red pepper from Sichuan province. It's not too spicy, but it has like this unique numbing quality, and it's more for cooking. These are cinnamons right here. This one, and then its little friend over there. This is golangal, again for cooking, a type of Thai ginger. We have huangqi, or astragalus, right here. Yeah, we got some good growth here, even though it's dry season. And then we have nispero, loquat, this would be called. And this is a traditional ingredient in kind of some of the traditional Chinese medicine cough syrups. And then we have kaffir lime, mainly for the leaves for cooking. And so we're going to bring out a bunch of other things. We have some other things that people might be used to internationally, like some dandelions, what else do we have? Oh my gosh, we have so many, I'm not going to remember them. Here we have some local lemon tree right here that's growing up here. We have a nice little space in the back. This is a little bit more kind of like my space. But eventually we'll have some medicinals back here and be inviting folks back here when we do little herb walks and stuff like that, because it is a nice, beautiful shaded space. I hope you can hear these birds. They're going off right now. Giant banana. Click picture. Big bananas. Another variety of banana right here. I don't know if these are just ornamental. We'll see if they produce bananas. But then, as you can see, all these bananas on the side of the property. Some very pretty plants, as well as a couple herbs that are kind of hanging off of some of the trees in the form of vines, in the forms of other things that are local herbs that I kind of have to talk to people about as I learn the local herbs, because there's some things here that don't exist anywhere else in maybe the world, or at least not in the regions that I'm from. So if we come over here, what do we have here? This little mini, there's going to be papayas. They're coming in nicely. Very pretty. And then over here, I'll show you some more fruits. How's our little pineapple getting going here, getting grown, hiding in the bushes. And so these are all pineapples over here. So we get a few, especially when it's a little bit more of their season. But we still have one growing right now. Eventually we're gonna get our kind of border going over here with some plants. But at the same time, it's really sweet to have the wide open fence, because especially now I don't have a dog or cat that I need to worry about running off. We have a family of foxes that comes around every evening. We have yeah, a variety of different types of animals that show up and just say hi. And it's a little parade, and yeah, it's sweet. So I think that's most of what I wanted to show you guys. It's a little bodega, just a little closet outside. And so this is Cultivate Costa Rica. This is a super unprofessional, boring video, and have you come visit. We're gonna start having events in November, December of 2026. This floor where I'm standing right now, this should be done probably in the next 2 months, hopefully, if not the next 4. The cabins, the roofs will probably be done in a couple weeks. Once they get going with that, once they have the posts, they do this kind of weaving in and out technique to keep the water out. It's a really cool technique, but it'll take a month, probably less. And then yeah, to have the alternate movement space, that the goal for that is just to get in before the rainy season, and to have the last cabins, the dorms, that goal is also to get it in before the rainy season, once the roofs are built. So we're gonna have a lot of construction here, and we're gonna have a lot of space for people to stay. In the meantime, the floor has been a priority because we want folks to be able to come here and, how would I say, we want folks to be able to come here and move, even if they can't stay on site, or even if they only have a few. So really sweet to be able to use that space right away. And so that's what we're shooting for. Thanks for watching.